Alrighty, so this On Land Hitch has kind of raised a few questions, and Jake Ziegler wanted to see how I did it because he wanted to do it to one of his plows, so figured I'd take the opportunity on this beautiful Sunday morning to take a look at it for you guys. So, first off, the reason we did it is the 1800 is set up for 30-inch rows, and wanted to keep it that way. That way it'd straddle the rows when I was planting. And when it's on 30-inch rows, the drawbar on this plow will not slide over far enough to get the tractor in the furrow. Alright, but we wanted to set this plow up for it because the 5540 pipe plow came out with, it didn't come out with the C's, it came out with the 1800A's, but close enough, 3 years difference. So, first thing we tried is the mast on this thing will slide over far enough on its own to get the wheel up on land. Now, when we tried that, the thing I was concerned about before we even tried it was that got the drawbar over past the center of the plow. And it did exactly what I thought it was going to when we tried it. It was over far enough. You weren't getting enough pull on this front corner, and the plow would actually spin sideways. The landslides didn't have enough advantage to keep it going straight. So, alright, back to the drawing board. And part of the problem with the original drawbar for this, which is this one right here on this plow, is it's fixed right to the pin. There's you can slide the mast back and forth, but there's nothing you can do with the drawbar. It is what it is. So we're sitting up there scratching our head trying to figure out, okay, well, what else can we do? And then I got to thinking, we got this 575 up here for parts for that 575 that's got a perfectly good drawbar on it. And on this series, actually on the 565, which is the plow that replaced this, they went to, you can slide the mast and you can move the drawbar. So we took the drawbar off of that plow, stuck it in this one, moved the mast back over where it belongs to where we're pulling off the center of the plow, and then moved the drawbar over to get the tractor up on land. So that's basically what we did there. Pretty simple. Just had to take two plows and make one, and we're not done yet. We didn't go any further because we just wanted to see if this would work, and it actually, for being a hillbilly rigged on land hitch, it actually works pretty good. Our next step is going to be to get a piece of 3x3 box tube and make a spacer, and we're actually going to move this out to get it away from the plow, and then make a bracket so that I can get my coulter back up here. But all we're gonna do is take a actual Oliver coulter bracket, punch holes in the frame, and hang it off the front. Because normally it would be, I don't think any of these plows actually have it, but here's one of the drawbar coulters that's broke. It's off of this plow, but it actually clamps with that bracket around the drawbar. Well, I don't think it actually works that great. Well, I take that back. On that series of plow, because the drawbar is further out from the frame, it works fine. On this series of plow, since the drawbar was cleared up here, the coulter on the drawbar was too close to the front moldboard, and in heavy residue it did plug. They fixed it when they went to that design. But this was also the first steerable this was the first steerable semi-mounted plow ever produced by anybody. And by steerable, I mean the tail wheel is actually hooked into the mast. IH had one, and Oliver had one that were semi-mount before this series, but the tail wheel just castered. And the disadvantage to that is you have to have longer end rows because you're swinging the whole plow behind you. This plow will turn within the turning radius of the tractor. So they advertised you could have 20-foot headlands with this. At least I think that was what it was 20 foot. Anyway, real short headlands. So that's going to be the next step for this, is to make that spacer, which will, one, allow us to get the coulter put on there, and two, if you get the drawbar out further from the plow, it actually increases your draft because the plow has more advantage on you. So, which is what they did when they went to the big frame semi-mounts like the 508, the 588. They actually, the mast is actually out further from the frame of the plow. So there was something else I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember now what it was. Oh yeah, an actual On Land hitch, which was never this plow. It was never offered for this plow. It might have been offered for that plow, but I've never seen one in person that had a hitch on there. But an actual On Land hitch plow doesn't have a mast on it, and basically there's a big framework that comes back and actually hooks into the center of the beam, and it actually sits so that you are pulling right off the center of the plow, and the hitch actually ends up way over here. Because with an actual On Land hitch plow, which you'd never do on a 4-bottom because it's too small, most of the time you're looking at 6 bottoms and up for that. But with an actual On Land hitch plow, your tractor's over far enough you can run a full set of duals. And there's 2 advantages to an On Land hitch plow. One, when you run in the furrow, you actually compact the bottom of the furrow, which you don't want to do. Compaction's bad. And the biggest advantage to it is when you get the whole tractor up on land and you're sitting level, you actually gain traction, because when you're running a wheel in the furrow, your land side wheel is always going to be slipping because there's more weight on the inner wheel, since that's or on the furrow wheel, since that's the way you're leaning. So On Land hitch all the way around is a better deal, but with a 4-bottom plow, I mean, the only reason we did this was so that we didn't have to keep sliding the wheels in and out on the 1800, and we honestly didn't think it was going to work, but actually it worked like a charm. So, but I guess that's how that's done. I hope it answers some of you guys' questions. So I am going to go start getting ready to finish up chisel plowing. It's going to be a beautiful day for it. It's supposed to be like 65 degrees out in the middle of November. Yes. So we will see you guys on the next one.